welcome to LFC, people. So today we're going to be talking about Mr. Richard Hughes, who's going to be our sporting director in the 1st of June. So we're going to be discussing that. We're going to be discussing FSG. Are they turning the corner? Are they changing for the good? And what's happened between them and Klopp? Marco Edwards coming back, signings they failed to make. We're gonna talk about a lot today. Especially the trade market, the name, and trying to put the ticket prices up. There's so many stuff we've got to talk about, and I just want to say, I'm not at this current moment. I'm not FSG out or FSG in or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Because you know where I normally stand. You know what I mean? But they've done good this season in some sort of ways, because we're fighting at the top. We're back where we belong. But you have to ask questions of the past as well. You don't just leave things as it is. If you're an alcoholic, without rehab, you don't change, do you? So you got to look at FSG. They always test the waters out. So there will be another thing gonna happen in the future that's gonna upset the fan base as well. So you got to look into a lot of stuff. But anyway, assalamu alaikum to everyone. Ramadan Kareem. Please do me a favor, hit that subscription button, notification button, and like button, and all that good stuff. I really appreciate that. And if you're on other social medias such as Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, X, of course, not Twitter, X, Facebook, of course, YouTube as well. So yeah, just hit the like button, subscription button, and notification button, and get the comments coming in as well. I'd love to have a debate with you guys as well. If you agree, if you disagree, you know how it is. And please follow me on my other channel, which is UFT. I want to create something like I did when I first started, which is a channel for every team. You don't have to be just Liverpool, so we could talk about other teams as well. Have a discussion. That's the whole point of it. But yeah, so Richard Hughes is here. He's going to be working under Marco Edwards, the CEO of Liverpool. Let me just bring that up. Let me just bring it up for you. Yeah, a lot of changes are happening at Liverpool. We have to prepare ourselves, if you know what I mean. The most important part of it is leaving, which is Jurgen Klopp, in my opinion. As I always say, whoever comes in after Jurgen Klopp is a downgrade. There's no doubt about that. We have to be realistic in that as well. I'm worried. But at the same time, I can be happy, because the next chapter could be better than the previous chapter. You know what I mean? In regards to winning titles and all that stuff, because everything is set up. You know what I mean? The youth team is set up, the first team is set up, and all that stuff. So Richard Hughes, if you guys don't know Richard Hughes, let me put him on here. I think I've got something. He's an ex-player that you don't. I don't think people knew that. He's an ex-footballer. Played for Portsmouth and some other teams as well. Let me just get him up over here. Obviously, he's from Scotland as well. Born in Glasgow. He played he started in the youth level at Atalanta in Italy, it looks like. And then he went to Arsenal from there. Then Bournemouth. Then Portsmouth. He played Bournemouth and Portsmouth. He played a lot of games for them, as I can see from here. Like 131 games each. And he went to Grimsby on loan. And Bournemouth again, which is where he ended up. He's ended his career in 2014. Some people my age probably remember him, playing for Portsmouth and that. 300 games he had in a career. Had 5 caps for Scotland as well. So not a lot of people know about him, and like he's an ex-footballer as well. Like he's not just a sporting director who recruits players and all that stuff. He has more to him than just recruiting players. Smaka is gone. Like he was here for the short term, as we all know. So Michael Edwards is already like setting up for the future, if you know what I mean. But what I want to talk about is Michael Edwards, why he come back as well. If you like, let me go to the next step. If you look at this picture and you see like who's in it, and you know the black and white one is, you know, the people that's leaving. Mark Gordon is obviously is leaving, and Mark Edwards is going to be, you know, replacing. Mark Gordon was, you know, the CEO originally, and he has recruited the likes of Van Dijk, Salah, you know, all those players. And, you know, when Liverpool went into difficult situations to get our players, he's the one who got us out of that difficult situations, as I remember. He left, then he came back in a short term, obviously right now, and I think they've been working on the Michael Edwards position for a while. This is why Klopp is leaving, and I've got to be realistic with that. Michael Edwards was sought after by a lot of teams like Chelsea, Man United, etc. Probably Arsenal. You know, all the big teams wanted him, but he never left. You know what I mean? He never actually went to these teams. That's why I keep thinking to myself, this was planned way ahead. And, you know, the only way he will come back, especially the treatment he had before, is in a higher position where nobody can touch him. You know, like when he was a sporting director, he had clashes with the manager. Them two won't, you know, communicate him very well. So now that he's got a position that nobody can touch him, if you know what I mean, nobody can touch him. So he's there now, and whatever manager comes in after Klopp, they have to work with what he's, you know, whatever he says, basically. You're just going to be a coach, and, you know, whatever Michael Edwards says, you have to work with. That's how I see it when I'm looking at this as well. So people prepare for a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? And if you look at it from that point of view, about Jurgen Klopp and him, then they had a little tiff, let's be honest, there before, with the transfers and I'm right, you're right kind of thing. And you know, this is why Michael Edwards left in the first place. So this is why I think this is why Klopp is leaving. If you look at it from the point of view of how comes, you know, Klopp suddenly wants to leave. You know what I mean? This is not like Klopp. Klopp is not that type of person. He honors his contracts, as we already know. So I think this Michael Edwards being a CEO was set up a long time ago, people. It clears itself. You know what I mean? If you look at it, it clears itself. Them two are not a match. So if the coaching staff and Klopp and, you know, all the backroom stuff is leaving, there must be something behind these people. There has to be something to do with both of them. As I said, Klopp normally honors his contracts to the full. I'm sad, you know what I mean? I'm sad like it's heading towards that direction, because, you know, them two was a marriage made in heaven, as they say, innit? And it should have worked. It should have actually worked, you know what I mean? In an ideal world, it should work, if you know what I mean, and it didn't. It's sad. It's sad, because if it worked, that's the most powerful thing you can have, if you know what I mean. Yeah, man. I'm upset about it, you know what I mean, because two powerful forces like that in one team can be a force to be reckoned with, you know what I mean, and we've seen it when they were together before. But if you look at it from a point of view why these things are happening right now, it was planned a long time ago, people. Honestly, it was planned a long time ago. Klopp, as soon as he found out that, you know, Michael Edwards is coming, he already decided. Forget about the November thing. Just get rid of that November thing, man. Get rid of it, man. And I think FSG, because Mark Gordon didn't want to be there anymore, FSG had to bring back Michael Edwards, because that's the only person that can, you know, do miraculous things, you know what I mean, in regards to transfers, recruitments, and all that stuff. They probably asked Klopp, do you want to work with him again, because we need him badly to come back to the football club, but he's going to be in a higher position this time, you know, that can, you know, influence your transfers, and, you know, his final say is the most important one. And this is what I think, this is what Klopp said, you know what, we've set up a good like structure in Liverpool Football Club, And you know, remember what Klopp said. Um, the best thing at a football club is what you leave behind, isn't it? It's not what you start with; it's what you leave behind when you leave. You leave it in a good shape, and this is what he's going to do. You know, this is what's happened. I think, yeah, I honestly think Marco Edwards coming back is the reason Klopp is leaving, and I just hope it works because you know I've always said that you know the management is the most important thing in every club. You look back at Man United, you look back at Chelsea, you look back at Liverpool, you look back at Arsenal, you look back at all those teams. The most the most important person always is the manager. You know what I mean? So if the manager is not the number one person at that football club, it is a struggle. You look at Tottenham, you know what I mean? They keep yo-yoing through managers, not making feel important, never win anything. You know what I mean? I was kind of shocked with Tottenham as well, people. Like they've only won what, 2 titles or 1 title, something like that in the entire history, and we talk about them like the top 6 clubs. That's an insult to Everton's and Aston Villas of this world. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah. So if you look at that and you look at Man United right now, like they yo-yo through managers since Alex Ferguson because they haven't got a strong manager. I mean, and this is the struggles Liverpool had in the last 30 years. We never had a strong manager in place that's that doesn't take any BS. You know what I mean, like any players that's trying to run the asylum, he'll get rid of them. You know what I mean, like Sarko, Balotelli's, all these players, they're all gone because of you know Klopp saying, "I'm the number one here, not you." You know what I mean? If players come over here and muck about, trying to you know be more important than the manager, he just gets rid of them. And this is how Ferguson worked. This is how Shankly worked, Paisley worked, Kennedy worked, Fagan worked. You know, all the top managers. They always work like that. Look at Mourinho, the way he used to just get rid of players, just a snap of a finger. And this is what I'm trying to say, people. You could have your director or sports and all that stuff. You could have your CEOs. But if the manager, the next manager ain't strong enough, we're going to be yo-yoing, man. And that's what worries me more than anything. Just think about it that way, people. I gave you, you know, the structure in regards to how things work. Look at all those clubs that don't have a strong manager. They're all struggling, aren't they? You could spend over £1 billion like Man United, Chelsea, etc. But if you haven't got the right manager, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? How can you have billionaire players and you still in mid-table? Doesn't make any sense. I mean, you spend all that money, doesn't make any sense. You look at Pep Guardiola, spends the same amount of money, but at least he's at the top. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm trying to say. You could spend as much as you want, but if the manager ain't the number one person there, it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle. I'm really enjoying this, people. Like, I saw one of my mates yesterday. I don't want to, you know, I don't name names or anything like that. Talking about, you know, is FSG good or bad for Liverpool Football Club? Some people change their mind about them. Some people haven't. Some people stay in the middle. I'm only basing it on this season. I think they've been brilliant on this season, but I will never forget, you know, the down failure. You know what I mean? Especially with Jurgen Klopp. You know what I mean? Jurgen Klopp deserves more, people. Jurgen Klopp got us back to where we belong. You know what I mean? So think about it that way. This guy didn't have to come to Liverpool. He could have went to a team that's already in place. He could have went to a team that's got everything in place, and he chose to come to Liverpool. He had opportunities to leave Liverpool when we was winning those titles. You know, big teams were looking at him. I remember Barcelona fans, Real Madrid fans were begging him to come to Real Madrid or Barcelona, and you know, he said, "I'm a Liverpool manager. You know, I love it here." And that's the downside for him. What I've always said, you know, when you're at the top, you got to go and get the best players, don't you? You don't settle for second place or anything like that. I think that's another thing, like probably drove him out as well. When we was winning titles, we wasn't getting the best players. I mean, let me give you examples. If you look at this, 1 second, please. Got my slideshow here. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it work. Let's see. So FSG failures. You know, I mean, this is what I want to look at as well. A lot of us are giving them credit for what they've done and all that stuff, but you know, like I said, an alcoholic doesn't recover until he goes to a rehab. I mean, and you know, an addict, a gambling addict doesn't go, it doesn't disappear from that person until he goes to a rehab. I mean, but these guys will never have a rehab. They're business people. They're always gonna be giving you test the waters kind of things, like, you know, we're gonna be talking about. Like I said, look, this is a player. A lot of people said he got too greedy, and he already basically he done a video. He done a video that he signed for Liverpool, etc., and all that stuff. I don't know what happened. Some people say he got too greedy, but we don't know exactly what happened until we hear from the club, or probably the club one day. We don't know exactly what happened. But that season, we was one fakir away of, you know, winning the league title. 1 point we lost, the first 1 point season, that is. We had Firmino, Salah, and Mane. We were just missing that creative player, which is him. Imagine he was in the team changing, because he was, you know, he was one of the best players at the time as well. Don't forget, like, he won the World Cup with France, so it showed, because he at the time was in the World Cup, and he went to do the medical with Liverpool, didn't he, while he was playing in the World Cup. So imagine him with the likes of Salah, Mane, and Firmino. That partnership. That could have been the change of Liverpool. That 1 point could have been 3 points clear, 4 points clear, 5 points clear, whatever it is. Because you know what I look at in a player is special attributes. Like, he's a set piece specialist. He creates goals from long range. You know what I mean? And he's, you know, and you know, takes corners like not like no other. That could have been the difference in that season, and we didn't take that opportunity. But what I've always said, if that player you couldn't get, where's the second option or third option in that place? Because we've always needed a player like that. That's going to be, you know, dynamic in that team. But we didn't do that. We chose not to, and you know what happened? We finished 1 point behind Man City. This is what I'm saying, people. It's a common occurrence with this ownership. You know, each time we want a player to win a league, or, you know, take us to the next level, we always mess up. We always mess up for some reason. It can't be the manager all the time, you know what I mean? If it's reoccurring itself, you know, again and again and again, how can you blame that on the manager? Every manager wants to be successful. Every manager wants the best players in the world, right? So what is Jurgen Klopp doing wrong? I mean, he got you to the top. You've won the Champions League. You've won the Premier League. Why aren't you buying the next, you know, players that can, you know, make this team even greater? Every manager, when they go to a club, once they win titles, they always go get the best players possible. I'm not asking for world-class players, like world beaters like Zidane or Ronaldo or all that stuff, but I'm asking for the next level, you know what I mean, that can make the team even, you know, even better. So when when the start of the season arrives, we're already ready. We're ready to compete. We're ready, you know, to win the next Champions League and the next Premier League. But we don't do that. You know, we don't do that. You know, we keep, every single time, like, something goes wrong, we keep hearing this guy, Kylian Mbappe, testing the waters, you know what I mean? Like, we're looking for players all around, you know, the world, or whatever it is, but Kylian Mbappe always, you know, resurfaces. I don't know why. He's never going to play for Liverpool. Now we know he's going to go to Real Madrid, isn't it? So, just to keep us quiet, we always get this, you know, press, local press, always giving us Kylian Mbappe around, you know, around social media, just to keep us quiet, innit? So we don't have to buy the players that we need. You know what I mean? This is what it is. Oh, Liverpool's interested in Kylian Mbappe. You know, Liverpool's top of the, you know, top of the league. They you know, they're competing again, you know, and all that stuff, which is far from the actual, you know, the situation we're in, because, you know, they don't want Kylian Mbappe. You know what I mean? Because they already tried when he was younger. They already, you know, took him on a plane ride. His parents, they talked to him, and he refused to come to Liverpool. So every single time, this one always returns. Always. When we're doing well, especially. When we're doing badly, you never heard of it. But when we're doing well, it always returns. And then all of a sudden, the transfer window closes. We don't sign anyone. It's amazing, isn't it? It's really, really amazing. This is what I'm trying to say to you people. They're good owners, but are they good enough for Liverpool Football Club? That's the question you need to ask yourself. But I'm going to keep going, and I'll tell you a lot of stuff that's happened around the past, you know, in the past as well. Timo Werner. We wanted him. Klopp wanted him. They opted not to get him. They got, obviously, Jota. Touch wood. Great. You know what I mean? But the thing is, what I'm trying to say about Timo Werner is, we don't know how good he could have been. Obviously, he went to Chelsea, but if you look at Chelsea, they ruined a lot of careers. Let's be honest there. Great players have failed in Chelsea. Shevchenko's, Crespo's, you know what I mean? Varane, not to name a few. So they ruined a lot of careers over there. Let's be honest there. But we don't know how good he would have been, because at the time he was a sought after striker. Everybody wanted him, you know what I mean? So, under Klopp, he could have been a different player. Could have been a different player. We don't know. But, you know, we've got Jota. The only issue Jota has is injury prone at the moment. He gets injured a lot, you know what I mean? But we don't know Timo Werner, like how good he would have been at Liverpool. I think too many people prejudge. They say, "Oh, thank God we didn't get him." You know, we don't know where we could have been, and all that stuff. But yeah, you don't know. You don't know. On the club, he could have been probably better, because he could play as a striker, could play as a winger as well. So two different positions, which Klopp always does when he buys players as well. Always gets players that can play multiple positions. Obviously, the next player is Tchouaméni. After the quad season, we needed players. We need players to complement the players that tried their hardest to win the quad. So they went for Tchouaméni. I think they wasted a lot of time in that one. That's why he opted for Real Madrid, because a lot of people are saying he wanted to go to Real Madrid. I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're wasting time on a player, the patience runs out. Like, he's not gonna keep waiting. So, when the likes of Real Madrid comes in, you're not gonna say no if the team that was chasing you originally didn't buy you. And that's another player Klopp wanted as well. Don't forget that, people. Klopp wanted Tchouaméni. Klopp, he thought he'd be the replacement for Fabinho. While he's still there, Fabinho could teach him, the role and all that stuff. But it didn't happen again. This is what I'm trying to say to you guys. Look back. Every single time a player Klopp wants, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So you wonder why we always struggle, like in some seasons. It's because we don't really capitalize on the situations when we're at top. Do you get what I'm saying, people? When we're at the top, we don't really buy the players that we need. I remember one season we bought Adrian, Sepp Vandenberg, and Harvey Elliott. I think it was the season after we won the Champions League. Look at that, people. It's crazy. It's beyond belief. Honestly, it's beyond belief when you see things like that. And people wonder why, like, Klopp is the way he is. Like I said, when you're at the top, buy the players that you need. Don't keep forcing players that have potential on a manager that already got you to the top. And it's not fair. You know what I mean? It's not fair in any manager. Yeah, man. You got to think about it. Like, we bought one luxury player in a while. Thiago, wow. You never hardly seen him. He's always injured. But where's the ones, around that time? Where's the other ones? When we was top. Yeah, it's crazy, man. You know what? One thing we do in our fan base is make excuses for, ownerships and all that stuff. But if you're true to yourself and you investigate everything, they're not really good owners in a way of, recruitment. You know what I mean? They give you recruitment that's hope. But when you're on the top, they don't give you the recruitment that you need. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Another one is as well. Like, I'm going to keep going. Like, that season was top of the league until January. The COVID season, as they call it. When Manchester City won by 86 points, we bought Ben Davies and Ozan Kabak. Does that look like a Klopp signing to you guys? Honestly, does that look like Klopp signing to you guys? Because I keep hearing Klopp, it makes the signings. Ben Davies and Ozan Kabak. I mean, we saw that. They didn't last long. They didn't even play. One of them didn't even hardly play. The one we bought, actually. You're top of the league. Matip gets injured at Tottenham away. You need someone in January. Obviously, we tried to sign Konate in the summer, but Leipzig said you have to wait until the new season because they needed him at that time, and extra finance was on top of that as well. So January comes and then you sign these two players. You're telling me you had all that time to think about players, and you sign these two players that Klopp hardly played. and you're blaming it on the manager. It's crazy, man. Honest to God, like, you lost the league because of your negligence. You didn't lose the league because of what the manager did. You know what I mean? He needs support. He needs good players to compete. All of your defenders, Van Dijk, Matip, whoever was there at the time, Gomez, all your centre backs were injured. So we ended up playing Fabinho and Henderson as a centre backs. Didn't work out. Then we move on to Reece Williams and Phillips, and it worked out. You know, the last 10 games, you know, they gave it their all, but it didn't get us the title. We finished third that season, of course. Yeah, you know, the results went our way. For once, luck went down. You know, went down Liverpool's way. Yeah, so you got to look into it, people. I know, like, they do good things. Yeah, they do good things. But if the fan base doesn't challenge them, they will do the other direction. You know what I mean? That's how it is. That's how it is, man. That's how it is. And you got Arthur Melo. Last season, we needed a midfielder to complement the midfielder we already have. You know, they're tired. They can't do what they used to do anymore. So we asked for a midfielder. There was a whole summer. Didn't get anyone. We got this guy on loan. Didn't have to play him. It shows, you know what I mean? It shows Klopp. If Klopp doesn't want you, he doesn't play you. You know what I mean? It's just, it's facts. It ain't him that's signing these players. Like, everybody's trying to blame him. Klopp, if he wants you, he will play you. That's how it is. Arthur Melo never played once. We came on in the European game, I think in Napoli away when we got battered. That's the only time I seen him. So you gotta look at it from that point of view. I mean, a lot of us, you know, we don't want no trillionaire ownerships or anything like that. We don't care. You know what I mean? We just want to compete. We only want to compete. That's all we want to do. We want to compete with the best. We're Liverpool Football Club. Don't forget that name. We need to compete with the best. If we don't compete with the best, what's the point of us being here? You know, another thing as well, like, we don't appreciate the past either. The past is the thing that got us here. Shankly is the thing that got us here. You know what I mean? We won championships within championships, with the Champions League, with the Champions League. No other British club has ever done what Liverpool has done in the European stage as well. So shouldn't we respect the club as a whole instead of like yo-yoing between ownerships and managers and all that stuff? I'm not asking for a £100 million player. Not many Liverpool fans are. We just want to compete. Just show a little ambition when we need it. If we need one or two players to get us over the line to win the Premier League, get those one or two players. But like I said, look at the players, people. It keeps reoccurring itself. It's always the same thing that's happening. Let's go again. Jude Bellingham. This summer. Henderson. Trent. Worked on that guy for months. And again, you see how he's performing for Real Madrid at the moment. Probably a potential Ballon d'Or winner one day. We missed out on another one. We keep missing out on players like this. But yet, we're blaming Klopp for that. Why aren't we getting the top cream of the crop players? Why? It ain't Klopp's fault. Klopp got you to the promised land. Why is the ownership always failing? That's the question you need to ask yourself. But like I said in previous streams, this coming season is going to prove a lot of things to a lot of us. Was it Klopp or was it the ownership? They need to step up, man. Because if they don't step up, all those loyal fans, you know what I'm saying? Ain't going to be loyal no more. Jude Bellingham, mate. What a player now. What a performance he's doing for Real Madrid. Every game he plays, he's just a threat. And we missed out on that. And nobody can tell me he didn't want to come to Liverpool. Nobody can tell me that. Henderson and Trent worked on that guy. For months. And what did the owners tell Jurgen Klopp? Oh, you know, he cost a lot of money. If you get him, you're not going to get any players in because, you know, the wages, you know, the money we're going to pay for him is too much. But you go for Caicedo. Why do you go for Caicedo for 111 million? Because you could pay that 111 million and pay him, you know, 40 grand a week. That's why. But you don't want to pay over, 200, 300 grand a week for Bellingham, who will actually produce what you need. He will perform to the highest level. He will get you that next level of the club, being higher in a position. Probably winning league Champions Leagues as well. Winning league Champions Leagues. In the next 5 years, we're going to be competing on it on a regular basis. And we're going to look more convincing. We're not going to do that, 120 minutes, games. We're going to win it within 90 minutes, and all that stuff. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? It's Klopp's fault. It's Klopp's fault. Manager gets you to the top and you're blaming him for it. I'm gutted about Bellingham. I've got to be honest, I knew he was good, but I didn't think he was this good. And Klopp wanted him, man. Klopp wanted him. Probably, from what I've heard, Klopp, spoke to his parents and, spoke to Dortmund, and everything was set up. And then, in the final moments, just like the rest of the transfers that we talked about, like Tchouaméni, Friki, they stepped away. Like I said, it keeps coming back. It keeps coming back. It keeps coming back. But people don't want to know. People don't want to know. They don't want to know. They don't want to know. Let's be honest. We're blaming Klopp in him because he's leaving. Moises Caicedo, 111 million, competing with Chelsea. If we got him, would it being beneficial for Liverpool? I think so. A lot of people say we dodge a bullet there. Even Klopp says that. But under Klopp, anything can happen, innit? Anything can happen. He could make players into world-class players, as we already know, and good players around Caicedo could have, took Liverpool to that next level. We're only 1 point behind. We're same points at Arsenal. Maybe we could have been like 4 or 5 points ahead of them if we had the right DM in place. Smashing it, my guy. Thank you very much, Jason. Appreciate that. Things are changing now at LFC. 100%, man. Richard Hughes is here now, so he's gonna start on June the 1st. So prepare for that. Welcome to Liverpool Football Club, Richard. Yeah, listen, this guy, we don't know what he's going to do. A lot of people are talking about him and, him being a Bournemouth guy and all this stuff. He's recruited for Bournemouth, but how do you know? When you go higher, you could get better. So just give the guy time and patience, man. We're Liverpool Football Club. That's what we do, innit? Andrew says, I'm going to miss Klopp. We're all going to miss Klopp, bro. We're all gonna miss Klopp, man. There's no one like him. There's no one like him. As I said, when you manage Liverpool, you manage the city, don't you? So everything as a whole, we're all as one, and that's what I love. This current Liverpool way, and I'm gonna miss it, man. How was it? Hope you're all good. I'm good. I'm good, Andrew. Appreciate that. Big up, JK, as always. Bless, bro. Bless. You never walk alone, as always, brother. Yeah. So yeah, get busy in the chat, people. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for you guys, isn't it? So. You could challenge me if I'm wrong. Because there's more to go. There's more to go about this one. Yeah, Moises Caicedo, like I said, that's another failed one. Look at the names, people. But you got to look back at the names. These are important, integral part of the team. Players that can change Liverpool, take us to that next level, and they always fail. That's what I don't understand. Why do you always fail when you need those players to take you to the next level? Let's go back, yeah. Let's go back to the players I started with. Game changers, in it, all of them. So you look at Fekir, game changer. You look at Mbappe, if we was going to go for him, game changer. Timo Werner, at the time, game changer. Tchouaméni, game changer. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's game changing players, but we keep failing to get them. These guys, useless. Didn't want them at the club in the first place. But these are the kind of players our owners get. And then everybody blames it on Klopp. Another one. Did we need him? Did he do anything? Did we have to pay him? There you go. Another one. Game changer. Game changer. So you got to look at the players. They're all game-changing players that could take us to the next level, and they opted not to get those players. Like I said, I've got no problem with FSG right now. They're doing a great job. But we've got to look back to look forward again. Are we going to go back to these kind of situations again? That's what you've got to ask yourself. Another one, Romeo Lavia. We mucked about with this kid so much, he chose to go and sit in the stands of Chelsea. Doesn't play for Chelsea. He chose to take the money and sit in the stands of Chelsea. Telling you people, like, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. 1 minute we're getting him, next minute we're not getting him. 1 minute we're going to pay the 5 million they asked for, next minute we're not going to pay the 5 million we asked for. We put 1 million up, and then another one, and then we go back again. You can't do that. You can't do that to players, man. It's wrong. But yeah, it's Klopp's fault. Yeah, it's Klopp's fault, isn't it? It's Klopp's fault. It's Klopp's fault. Everything's Klopp's fault. So let's continue, innit? Let's continue with FSG's issues down the years. As you can see, project big picture, top teams. So as you can see, they made a proposal. What would the proposal so this is the proposal they made, as you can see on the actual screen. The key points, obviously, Premier League would be reduced from 20 to 18 clubs. This is FSG, you know. We forget about that, you know. We forget about all these things they did in the past. Well, you know what I mean? This is us. We are, Liverpool Football Club. We're all holding hands, kumbaya, whatever it is. This is the proposal they made. So you look at the other one. It says the EFL Cup and the Community Shield would be scrapped. People, this is what we're facing. This is what, if they wanted their way, this is what we was facing. But yet, we are, kumbaya. They are the greatest owners in history. Yeah, listen, if you ask me, like, would I prefer the Chelsea ownership to Liverpool ownership? No, I wouldn't, because, Chelsea is a mess. It's always been a mess. But the thing is, with FSG, as you can see right there on the screen, we're forgetting what they done. We're forgetting all these things. And we shouldn't forget things like that, because, people don't change. They will still test the waters. There will be a Super League returning very, very soon. It ain't over. I mean, it ain't over. They're businessmen. They're never gonna stop just because we told them to stop. When there's a perfect opportunity, as we say about Edge, innit, in WWE, ultimate opportunist. That's what they are. They're the ultimate opportunist. They will go there and, do the same thing again. Like I said, the Premier League would be reduced from 20 to 18 clubs. That's what they wanted to do. The EFL Cup and the Community Shield should be scrapped. That's a history, a tradition of English football. You want to scrap all that stuff? You want to scrap the League Cup and the Community Shield? Lord of mercy. And then you look at current one club, one vote principle would be abolished, as we rule that 14 clubs out of the current 20 need to agree on policy. So that's another thing as well, people, that we don't really look into as well. As you can see, it says 14 clubs, right, that has to vote for it. Currently, from what I've seen, like I could be wrong, 13 clubs in the Premier League is owned by Americans. Bet you didn't know that. So what that means, when they're gonna vote, majority wins. So if ever a Super League reoccurs, majority wins. And we're heading towards that direction. I don't want to say to you, I told you so one day. I don't want to say that. But go and look back, see how many clubs in the Premier League are owned by Americans. They've come to the game, and now they could do whatever they want. All this stuff on the screen right there, it's going to happen probably one day. And there's nothing you or me can do about it. I'm being truthful, man. I don't be around the bush. So it says in the next step, power would be in the 9 clubs that have remained in the Premier League longest. Arsenal, Chelsea, Everton, I don't know about Everton at the moment. I think they get relegated, don't they? Everton, Liverpool, Man United, Man City. Man City, longest? I don't think they're the longest. They got relegated about 50 times in the past. No. Southampton, no longer in the Premier League. They're gone. Tottenham and West Ham. West Ham? I saw the yo-yo club as well. It's crazy. So these are the terms they're trying to put forward at the time. But as I said, at the time there wasn't 14 clubs owned by overseas America. Now 13 teams owned by Americans. So one more probably leaves when they come back. You know, we'll complete the set. Hey. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And the next one, it says only 6 of the 9 longest serving clubs need to vote for major change. So these plans are already in place. They will use it at some stage, probably. You know what I mean? It couldn't work the first time, but they are very persistent, as we already know. People, they are very persistent. They never give in. You know what I mean? So, as I said, a gambler doesn't stop until he goes to rehab and understands what he's doing is wrong. And FSG haven't been to rehab yet. You know what I mean? They're building new stands, not with their money. You know, they're borrowing money. You know, and you know they fixed a new training ground, which is called AXA. AXA. That's it, AXA. I thought I had it in my shirt, but I don't. Who are paying for it, by the way. Great, you know, great businessman, great thinking, you know what I mean? Great thinking. So I'll spend other people's money to get what you want, but you owe a debt afterwards. But in the, you know, in the real world, you're not in debt. There you go. So it says 250 million payment up front for the EFL, plus 100 million payment to the Football Association. Man City already probably do that anyway. Ooh. A lot of the, you know, Chelsea probably do it. You know the teams that have money. Newcastle probably as well. Yep. You know, these kind of teams. So it says 25% of Premier League annual revenue up from 4% would go to the EFL. You know, just to keep, you know, those lower teams quiet. Don't moan, innit? Don't moan. We are in control right now. We hold everything together. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, I'm a firm believer people can change. You know what I mean? I've got no issues with that. I'm a firm believer people can change. You know what I mean? But people that's been doing the same thing again and again and again for years and years, just to test waters on a regular basis, can I trust that? I mean, now the blanket has left the building. Oh, sorry, it's not finished yet. Now the blanket has left the building, which is Jurgen Klopp. Are they going to be exposed? That's the question. Look at that. Ticket prices going up. Are we forgetting this stuff? Highly controversial plans for £77 match day ticket. Redeveloped main stand and season tickets will be £1,029 have been scrapped. Instead of, they will remain at 59 and 169 respectively. It's weird. Respectively, sorry. It's weird. It's very, very strange. How do you like charge £77 for a ticket? I mean, you don't even celebrate goals anymore. So you want to charge me £77, boy? No, ham dog, I ain't going that far. And then season tickets for £1,029. In the current inflations and all that stuff, yeah, you can't even pay a mortgage, but yet you want us to pay a ticket for £1,029, ham dog. And I mean, I thought we was together. I thought you was the best owners. I thought you was, you know, everything that we needed. But yeah, it is what it is, you know. FSG is to freeze revenue streams from general admission tickets for 2026, 2027, 2020, so 2016, 2017, 2017, 2018 season, rather than seek to raise income to 39 million. Once Anfield capacity rises to 54,000, tickets revenue stand at 35 million. So the whole plan was, we're gonna put everything up. We ain't gonna stop. You gotta have to accept it for what it is. But you know, luckily we have the best fans in the world. We protest and we won, you know, our case, and they stopped it. People say, at least they change their mind once the fans protest. But how much more would that last if they continue to do the same things again and again and again? You know what I mean? So people don't change, man. Like, especially business people from America. I can't just say America, just in general. They don't change, man. They don't change at all. Because if you look at all that, there's always an issue that doesn't stop. It never ends. You look at the Super League. You know, all these teams voted for it. We was one of them. You know, like Liverpool Football Club is about history and tradition, right? We don't fall for the trap of, you know, outside influences. But at the time, we was part of those teams that chose to do a Super League. I'm all about the English football and that stuff. If it sorts itself out, you know what I mean? You look at the way it's run at the moment with the PGMOL and the way the Premier League is, you know, like, it's less competitive as it should be. Because, you know, when they first came on the scene, they said it's fair playing fields for everyone. Everyone has got a chance of winning. But, you know, it doesn't look like that way. Man City could get, you know, 4 in a trot titles. You know what I mean? That shouldn't happen. That's not competitive. That's a farmers league. And they could win another treble in 2 seasons running. Is that competitive? No. So they got to sort out. They're trying to sort it out now, but maybe it's too late now. You know, you're finding teams and reducing points. Why shouldn't this be done in the beginning of the season or at the end of the season? Just give them a warning, pre-warning, way in advance. You know what I mean? You could be deducted 10 points at the end of the season, so those teams could, you know, try to get as much as points as possible, instead of like changing things during the season, during the end of the season. Like, it's wrong, absolutely wrong. It's not fair to those teams. Yeah, like I said, the Super League will resurface. Like, it will come back. There's no doubt about that. Real Madrid, you know, president said he's working hard. I think they went to the courts and they actually won. So it will come back. It will come back. I think, like, when that happens, football will lose its place, and you know, it will be played all around the world. America, probably Saudi Arabia, Dubai, the Super League and all that stuff. But would fans be interested in it still? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think fans will be interested in it anymore. I think fans will opt away. Things like that. I'm not going to be traveling all around the world just to watch Liverpool like that. I mean, we're all about, you know, home, where the Premier League belongs. Going to watch teams, you know, all around the country. Not going all the way, like flying about all around the world just to watch our team. We'll do that in the Champions League, but I'm not going to do it, you know, in the Super League. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Money making schemes, innit? It's all about money. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, it's all about money. We've sold ourselves to, you know, Hollywood. That's what it is. Like, it's like a monopoly now. Like, the teams don't really matter that much. It's sad. It's really, really sad if you look at it. And you know, the next one is the furloughing the staff during the pandemic. A billionaire owners furloughing the tea ladies. You know what I mean? Carol and was it Carol and Carol? The 2 Carols. And then you know, the fan base started going mad again, and they changed their mind again. This is what I'm saying, people. This is what I'm saying, like with these owners, and people are trying to convince me they are good owners. They do good by Liverpool. Well, Jurgen Klopp is leaving, people. Jurgen Klopp is leaving because they went against him again. Jurgen Klopp actually honors his contracts, wherever he's been, Mainz or Dortmund. He honored it. I think it's the only club he left early in. I'm sure of it. So yeah, it's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Trademarking Liverpool FC failed in a move to trademark the word Liverpool. There you go. Another one. They tried to trademark our name. Are we forgetting that as well? Like you could say that's the past and all that stuff. But they try to do that. I mean, like, if this happened to you in real life, what would what would you do? Would you trust that person again? Or would you just let, what I mean? What would you do? Would you trust that person, or would you just cut your losses? In real life, I'm talking about. If someone tried to ruin your life like that, put your bills up, your mortgage up, would you trust that person, right, that did that to you? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't trust anyone. But yeah, people are trying to convince me, that they're to be trusted. No. They will listen. Things will come back. Things will come back like that. 100%. Got no doubt about it, man. Like I said, there's a set in your mortgage, and all of a sudden it goes up by 100%. Would you accept that? No, you wouldn't. So you can't really trust these people, man. You can't trust people that keep setting you up every single time. Trademarking Liverpool name. Wow. And then you got the club up for sale. We're forgetting that as well. Club up for sale. They tried to sell the club, and then all of a sudden they change their mind, making people look forward to it, and then all of a sudden, no, it ain't gonna happen again. It ain't gonna happen. So I don't beat around the bush. You know what I mean? I'm not here to lie to you guys, but you just got to look at it. You got to look at point of view, what these owners have done in the past, and what they're capable of doing. Jurgen Klopp is leaving. I honestly think it's to do with Marco Edwards coming back as well. I honestly think that. I think Jurgen Klopp is leaving because Marco Edwards is coming back. I think this was done like months ago. Marco Edwards had the cream of the crop after him. More money, better positions. Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United. Look back. All those teams wanted him. Even abroad, I think Real Madrid, all these other teams wanted him as well. Yeah, this was set up a long time ago, people. I honestly think that. I think this was set up a long time ago. Now those two people are leaving. As I said, I'm all for a change. This is how life is. You know what I mean? I just hope, it goes in the right direction, not the opposite direction, which is, all failing. And as I alluded to earlier, the manager is the most important thing in every football club. Every football club, the manager is the most important thing. Look back in history. Look back at the biggest clubs in the world. Who was the main person? The manager. The manager was the main person. So if we don't have that anymore, and this guy leaves the way he's leaving, it's tough, man. It's really, really tough to take. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna miss him, man. I'm really gonna miss him, and I hope the next manager can work with this new structure in place, because he's got everything in it. He's got the youth all the way to the senior team. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys. You know what I mean? I was listening to something yesterday, like I said. We was blaming Klopp and we was blaming FSG. But every team, when you're at the top, you buy the best players. You don't buy second-rate players on a continuous basis. This poor guy, season in, season out, he had to motivate players and get players that who are not up to the standards to the next level every single time, which can tire you out. But I don't believe it's anything to do with that. I think it's Marco Edwards coming back, and which was decided a while ago. I mean, and taking the helm again. And they probably gave Klopp the ultimatum: you either work with him or you leave. And Klopp, I think, decided to leave. That's how I see it. You guys can decide what you want, but that's how I see it. Just look deep, look into this deep, like in a deeply. Like you got to look at it. You got to look at it. You know what I mean? So I don't think people. We kept on like saying, is he tired? Is he this? Is he that? No, it's because him and Michael Edwards don't really connect. I mean, that's why Michael Edwards left in the first place. Klopp was too powerful at the time. Now Michael Edwards got that power, and he's returned. Can Klopp work with that? Nope. He opted to go. Yeah. So that's all I got for you guys. It's been an hour. I hope I cleared a lot of things up. I mean, because you'd rather hear the truth than someone just telling you lies and all that stuff. I don't lie. You know me, guys. I don't lie about anything. I'm just as honest as I can get in regards to Liverpool. I don't look for clicks. I don't really care about that. I'm here for Liverpool Football Club. You know what I mean? First of all, it's not all about the individual. It's about Liverpool Football Club. That comes first for every Liverpool fan. And that's what I want to say. Like it's nothing to do with I love Klopp. I hate Klopp. I hate FSG. I love FSG. I hate Michael Edwards. I like Michael Edwards. It's nothing to do with that. It's nothing to do with that. It's the truth. You need to understand it. You know what I mean? Because we was trying to find answers to the questions that we tried to put out there. Why is he leaving? Da, 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 da. And he said back in November, I decided, it's time to leave. I think he decided a while ago because he knew Michael Edwards is coming back, and they don't really connect. So it's time to go. That's what it was. But I really hope it works out. I really, really hope it works out for FSG. I'm not here, to always have a go at them. I hope they change, but, they don't change. People like that don't change. I just hope Michael Edwards can, take us to that next level and get the right manager in. That's going to, I don't want a manager that's going to come in, and downgrade, put us down, like into top 4 team. I want to compete. I want to compete for the title again, every season. Like, that's what we're all about. I don't want to be, we're going to compete for the top 4. Top 4 is the best position for Liverpool Football Club. That's where our standards is now. We go from there to there to there, and we accept it. It's a norm. No, we can't do that. We can't wait another 30 years. You know what I mean? We just can't wait another 30 years, man. Uncle says, bless up, brother. Bless up as always, Uncle, man. Uncle Albert. Big up, mate. Big up, big up. Yeah, I was just explaining, about FSG. People like that don't, what have they done in the past? Have they changed? Are they going to change? Is, the Super League going to resurface and, and all that stuff. So if you don't know the history, like, of what they've done in the past and let someone explain it to you, then, you won't know much about them. They've done good things. They've done a lot of bad things. Don't forget that as well, people. Don't forget that as well. They've done a lot of bad things. And I'm worried, like I said, I'm worried. Is Michael Edwards going to take us to the next level? Or is he not? I mean, that's what I worry about. It's worrying. Really, really worrying. I know people don't want to hear things like this, but you got to discuss it, innit? You got to discuss it. Because, people can tell you one side of the story, but you don't even hear the other side. I gave you bullet points of what they did wrong. I gave you the players. I gave you everything that's there. Always testing the water. That's what they do. Don't forget, like, we had to get a plane above Anfield just to say, sign some players, man. I mean, help the manager out. Help a brother out. That's what we were saying. They did that this summer, and look at the rewards. We're challenging. It shouldn't be fans saying that on a continuous basis for team to compete. the ownership and everybody else around it should be knowing about things like this. We shouldn't have to be the ones who are telling them. We're just supporters. That's what we are. We're just supporters. We're not professional athletes. We're not managers. We're not anything like that. But we can see when there's a deficiency there. You know what I mean? And if we don't call it out, we will drop. I mean, we dropped from the top 4 last season. Remember, people, because there was a listen to what we were saying. As soon as they listen and they start buying players in the summer, and look what happens. Look at the change. All of a sudden, we're competing again. And look at the Champions League in the past few seasons. Look at the Champions League in the past few seasons. It's not the same Champions League when Liverpool were competing. When every team, like Real Madrid, Barcelona, etc., were in their tip-top condition. Now you look at the teams in it, like, and you think to yourself, if Liverpool were in it right now, we would have won a few. It would have been easier. You know what I mean? It would have been easier. But yeah, we opted, not to get players at the times that we needed it. Yeah, man. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, this is the next show, people, which is going to be on Friday. So please tune in. It's going to be at 10 o'clock. The crew is back together. We'll just discuss, end of an era with the crew. We'll discuss how the season is going. And we're always going to talk about one special player in each. Let's talk LFC going forward as well. So we're going to talk about Maradona as well. But yeah, man, I know this is long and you want to hear what you want to hear and all that stuff. But someone has to explain things to you guys. You know what I mean? When you like sit down and relax and thinking everything's okay, you could do this and that, things just hit you. The wrong thing starts happening. And you don't want that to happen to you on a continuous basis. FSG have a past, and the past could resurface it, very soon. So just look into things like that. Is Marco Edwards good for the club? I don't know. I'm not those fans that's jumping, oh, Marco Edwards is back, yes, so it's great. Sometimes what they say, you never go back. I mean, the first stint is always a special one. The second one is not always the same as the first one. It could be worse than that. So I just hope Marco Edwards can do something that makes it special. Because we haven't got Klopp there anymore. The blanket is gone. We're all naked. You know what I mean? It's cold. It's cold at Anfield. The blanket is gone. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, boys and girls. I just hope, I really, really hope things go for the better. It can. It happened in the past. Bob Paisley, Shankly left. Bob Paisley took over. Obviously, the first year wasn't all that, but after that, we became the best team in Europe. You know what I mean? So it can happen. It can get better. It can get better if you have got the right team there. If you know what I mean. And what I want to have the next, the second part of this era. What I want is continuous success. Like there's no stumbling blocks. There's no one quitting all of a sudden and things like that. Have everything in place and make sure there's nothing gonna happen like the first stint. You know what I mean? When we had everything going good, we had the ownership, we had the sporting directors, we had everything going good. I want it to continue this time. Learn from past mistakes. Don't keep going back to the past mistakes. And if we need that player to get us to the next level in January, go and get him. Or in the summer, go and get him. Don't hesitate. It doesn't have to take the fans telling you what to do for you to sign players. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Well, like I said, a gambler doesn't, change unless he goes to rehab. And FSG haven't been to rehab yet. When we see FSG go to rehab and change their way, then probably the trust can begin. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, people. That's me done. Please do me a favor. Hit that subscription button, notification button, like button. If you're on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff, just come to the YouTube channel, subscribe. We're on the road to 2,000. I appreciate that. No pressure. No pressure. It's all down to you. Do what you want, people. But yeah, we're trying to get the channel to become bigger. That's the whole point. Sorry if you didn't like what I put out there, people. You know what I mean? It might not be your cup of tea. I know, like, when things are going good, you don't want to hear, bad things. But it's better getting an advance warning instead of like just sitting back and thinking everything's okay. In my opinion, anyway. Welcome to Richard Hughes. I hope he does good at Liverpool Football Club. Obviously, as a sporting director, I hope it's a long-term thing, and he gets the right players in. I wouldn't worry about getting Bournemouth players in. You know what I mean? Some people think we're gonna get Bournemouth players in, so I wouldn't worry about that. Probably, when you go to a bigger club, you get the same kind of players for that club. Wherever suits that club. So hopefully he can get that for us. Marco Edwards wouldn't hire him unless he knew him in advance as well. So yeah, everything's good. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm done out here, people. I hope you subscribed and done all that good stuff for me. And I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.